So what the vortex is, you stand in your body. Start again. You were source energy before you came into this physical body. Most people don't really know that. You were source energy before you came into this physical body, and still, the larger part of you still is source energy. Most people don't understand that. They only know the me that is here in this physical body. But there's a larger part of you that is really part of everything that you're experiencing all day, every day. Every thought that you feel, every thought that you think, every word that you speak, there is another version of you speaking about the same subject, and the perspective of the source version and your version is what equals your emotions, period. Source loves that guy you hate. That's why you feel uncomfortable when you think about that person, is because you found a way of approaching that person that is very different from who you really are and what you have evolved to be through all that you have lived. So, Source adores you when you're hard on yourself. The reason that you feel guilt or unworthiness is because you have chosen to activate within yourself a vibration that we're going to call a thought, a vibration that we're going to call an opinion, a vibration that we're going to call a belief. You got something going on within you that is so different from who you really are that you're not resonating, not right now, with who you really are. You've got contradictory energy going on. So you were source before you came into this body. Now you're in this body. You still have connection, vibrational connection with that source part of you. And unless you're paying attention to your emotions, you don't know that. So here you are in your body, going through life, concluding, just as you knew you would, the things you like the best, the things you don't like, the things you want, the things you don't want. In other words, it's pretty easy. You put something in your mouth, you can tell if you like it or not, can't you? You put something on your body in terms of clothing or something that you are putting on your skin, you can tell if it feels good or if it doesn't, can't you? You're very discerning. You're much more discerning than you give yourself credit for being. So as you sift through life, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and what you do want, what you've synthesized, what you've ferreted out, what you have sifted and sorted through all that you are living, is causing you to send these vibrational impulses, we've been calling them rockets of desire, pure, fast, spontaneous rockets of desire of something that you have decided at some level of your being, often an unconscious level of your being, without even knowing it. When someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. And when someone feels sorry for themselves or isn't happy, you want them to feel better about themselves. When someone is discouraged, you want them to be uplifted. In other words, you just can't stop doing that all day, every day. So you have over time built this vortex. We are calling it a vortex because the highest vibration that you've accomplished on every subject is contained in this vibrational state of being. We called it a virtual reality for a while. Then we call it your vortex of creation. It's the vibrational version of all that you want. So this vortex version of you is annoying to many of you because you can't yet spend it. You can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. In other words, it's not something that is tangible and therefore satisfying in the way you want it to be. But we want you to know it exists and you have created it and it is yours and it is a certainty for you to experience the fullness of it, provided you stop doing that thing you do that holds you in chronic disallowance of it. And that thing you do that holds you in chronic disallowance of it is, you notice you don't have it, mostly. It's as simple as this. You know how when you have a question, well, the vibration of the question and the vibration of the answer are very different frequencies. But if you are just bound up in the question, well, why? Well, when? Well, how? Well, who? Who? How? Where? When? Why? As you are bound up in the question, all wadded up in the I don't have it yet, I don't have it yet, I don't have it yet, I don't have it yet vibration, even though it's ready to flow into your realization, it can't because you're blocking it with your contradictory vibration. You see how that works? So we're wanting you to realize that here the vortex is with everything that you want, not just probabilities, not just possibilities, certainties of everything that you've been asking for. But you've got to find some way of translating that which you've put there incrementally. Oh, this is new and it's really good. Are you listening? You've got to find some way of translating these components that you've put there incrementally into something that is meaningful into your experience, into your real life experience. In other words, you are now going to be the realizer of what you've been putting there. So that means you've got to practice the frequency of it. So it really is as simple as this. Let's say, for example, that your vortex is full of hundreds of things that you want, and that this swirling vortex, with the help of law of attraction, has gathered the cooperative components, and all of these things are ready to pop for you when you're ready to be the realizer of the popping. It'll pop with an idea, it will pop with an impulse, it will pop with, makes you eager for life, makes you feel passionate when things start popping like that. So here it is, ready to pop, but you're not poppable. Because you've decided to take something that's very real to you and use it to focus upon, and that's the momentum you've got going on. So you've got momentum going that says, people don't appreciate me, and people don't understand me, and people don't really like to be with me, and we're just making this stuff up, getting it from you, but what you want is in a different frequency, so you can't be the realizer of it. The things can't occur to you. You can't be at the right place at the right time. You have to be at a place other than where that is, because you're at a frequency different than what that is. Do you follow? So you could take one subject, something that is working in your life, or something that did work in your life, something that you remember that made you feel good, and you can decide, this is going to be the subject of my new momentum building. I'm going to use this to build my momentum. There are all these levels of flying discs, depression and fear and revenge and anger and complacency and frustration and okayness and hopeful and eagerness and passion and love and appreciation. In other words, they're there. And without knowing it, you're jumping on those wheels. You're jumping on, and here's the thing. When you get on one, law of attraction pretty much makes it easy to stay there. Because that's how you feel, so that's what you get. And that's what you get, so that's how you feel. And that's how you feel, so that's what you get. And that's what you get, so that's how you feel. And that's how you feel, and that's what you get. And then you say, well, screw law of attraction. If law of attraction loved me like I thought God did, law of attraction is not even like that. It's like gravity. You don't condemn it or love it, just accept it. It's really consistent, and it's going to give you what you're vibrating at. And so let's say you're not feeling that good, but you reach for something that feels a little better, and you manage to stay there for a day or two. And because you've shifted your vibration, these are what many of the process that we've been talking about through the years do for you. Now you find a different holding pattern. You find a different set point. In other words, let's say that you just feel a little better, and law of attraction gives you some of that, and you notice that, and then you feel a little better, and law of attraction gives you that, and you feel a little better. And now you're saying law of attraction is getting to be a little bit more my friend. And we say, it's not law of attraction that's being your friend, it's you that's being your friend. You're choosing a different frequency, and you're getting different feedback. And now you know the process. Now you can move yourself deliberately up this emotional scale until you are chronically offering a vibration that is worthy of what you've put into your vortex. Because your vortex doesn't contain all that stuff that's on the way to your exhilaration. It doesn't contain all that stuff that's on your way to your passion and your love and your appreciation and your feeling fulfilled in life. It's got all the good stuff in it. The vortex has been described as this virtual reality, but now we're wanting you to feel these vibrational levels that you are choosing and understanding that every one of them is spinning and every one of them is gaining momentum. It's just not momentum up here in the good feeling vibration. It's momentum everywhere you choose to be. And you know that. That's why you can get yourself in such a fit. Haven't you noticed it? Have you ever been in a bad mood and made the mistake of telling someone else who was also in a bad mood? you can really get things going. Feels like the whole world could blow up just with the power of your dysfunction, you say. That's really helpful, isn't it? Doesn't it make you want to choose? So you could say, well, I can feel where I am. I can feel where I am. And then you want to ask yourself the question, do I want momentum to proceed from this point? Do I? Well, maybe you do and maybe you don't. But if you don't, then now what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You know what we would do? We would sit down, we would draw in, we would close our eyes, and we would stop thought through the process of meditation until the evil spell lifts. It's not like that at all, but till the momentum subsides, you see. And once that momentum subsides, then you have, think about this, friends. If you have quieted your mind, there's no real momentum going. So if you find yourself on a unwanted wheel, and you know it because you can feel it, right? If you find yourself there, what do you say to yourself? But think about it. Do you say, need to shift wheels? Even though you conceptually, intellectually know that, I should be doing better? Or do you just let it play out because momentum is momentum? So you're standing at the top of a hill, San Francisco, let's say. And your car's right there next to you. And it's in neutral, and the brake isn't on, and it's perched right on the top of the hill. And just with a slight touch of your hand, you can get it moving down the hill. So let's say, for whatever reason, it starts to move, and you're right there. So you just step out in front of it, and it just bumps up against you, and it just stops. No big deal, right? Not much momentum, and so you stop the momentum. But what if you left your car at the top of the hill and you walked to the bottom of the hill, and somebody else bumped it, and now it's coming down the hill, and you're at the bottom of the hill? What do? Do you stand there? Or do you understand what that momentum might mean to you? This is what we're talking about. So we'll ask the question to you again. You're in the middle of your day. You realize that you've got some momentum going. You intellectually analyze the situation, and you conclude that you're on one of those interim wheels, and law of attraction is feeding that stuff back to you. You could get out the Ask It and It Is Given book and look through the processes and find one and apply one. But you know what we would do? We'd just write it out. And we'd just get out of the way of whatever was coming down the hill at us. In other words, we wouldn't struggle, we wouldn't strain, we wouldn't beat up on ourselves, we wouldn't try to explain it to somebody else, we wouldn't defend it or justify it, we wouldn't beat up on ourselves about it. We would just take it as a natural law, as a natural consequence of what we'd set in motion. And we would make a decision that I'm going to get out ahead of that tomorrow. Or I'm going to take a lunch break and I'm going to quiet my mind and I'm going to get out ahead of it. You get a sense of what we're talking about? Because when you react to what's going on, you just jump on the wheel and make it go faster. Often the very thing that you're doing that you think is going to make it better makes it worse, because your attention to it is just more momentum about the same. So from now on, when you hear us say, get out ahead of the manifestation, you know what we mean. We mean early morning meditation. And if you will do it every morning for a while, you'll train your frequency up there where you really want it to be. And, oh, friends, talk about fun when you get that momentum going. When that momentum's going, everything wonderful is coming your way.